So Illuminaughtii is calling out lawyer YouTuber LegalEagle for plagiarism? She tweets out, "Not LegalEagle editors broaching my editors to take my video style, and then when they didn't give up the info, they literally copied it. And by the way, I have the messages from my editors, and found an email from them too. Just changed the color from purple to blue." Huh? Interesting. So I went through my emails and found this, just outright saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this, but if you could make it easier for me, I'd appreciate it." She then shows an email that says, "Hey Blair, I work as an editor for LegalEagle, and I was wondering if there was some After Effects plugin you guys use for things like the intro to the first NFL video, where the lighter colors appear to stick out in 3D. We could recreate it, but we figured there was probably a faster method you guys were using. Here's the video I'm talking about, just so you know what I mean. Thanks, Danny." Illuminaughtii continues her thread by saying, "Also went to my Discord server to try and get more to cop the style." She then shows Danny in the Discord server saying, "Am I allowed to post a video essay I made that was inspired by Blair's channel? Or is there like no self-promotion? Also, is there any way I can talk to one of the video editors? I edit for LegalEagle and wanted to know how they did a specific effect." Flo the Dragon Ghost responds by saying, "You have to be level 2 to post link. Then the best place for that would be advertise yourself/others." Danny responds, "And about talking to the editing team? I've emailed in the past but got no response, so I figured I'd try here." And then she shows the examples of this alleged plagiarism, and I mean, I'll just let the pictures speak for themselves and let you guys come up with your own conclusion, but needless to say, I think these claims are a little bit silly. Regardless, she ended off her thread by saying, "And to be honest, I wouldn't have believed any of this was trying to replicate my videos, if not for the email and Discord stuff that was done preemptive to their video coming out. Like, talk about, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just make it a little different," shaking my head. Leon Lush responds to her by saying, "Both examples, all I'm seeing is some incredibly common editing style/technique that have been used in thousands of videos. Not sure why you're trying to make this a thing. Honestly, example B made me laugh. If you've watched a documentary in your life, you've seen this exact edit, and you were using it as an example of someone copying you?" Def Noodles says, "You're trying to claim the most basic editing style. Literally turn on your TV and put on 50 different true crime docs, and you'll find the same style in 45 of them. This just seems weird and petty." Avery Howard says, "I might be wrong here, but A, LegalEagle has been using those styles, the ripped paper and highlighter, for years, and B, the question wasn't about those styles anyway, but rather a particular effect that they wanted to know how it was done. There's no copying here." H Bomber Guy quote tweets Illuminaughtii and says, "Just to clarify, one of LegalEagle's editors asked one of your editors what plugin they use for a personal video they were working on for their own channel. I take plagiarism really seriously, so I'm interested in an explanation of what exactly is wrong here." He then shares a Twitter video with the caption, "Personally, Illuminaughtii, I would define plagiarism as something a bit more specific. For example, copying someone else's documentary directly into your script."
Professor Hugh Freudenberg.
Professor Freudenberg has long been controversial.
A man named Hugh Freudenberg, a former immunologist who has been long controversial.
In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit involving the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic child patients with blood products.
In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit with the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic patients with blood products.
Then in 1995, he was suspended from practicing medicine and made to pay a $10,000 fine for his misuse and misprescribing of controlled drugs.
Then in 1995, he was suspended from practicing medicine and made to pay a $10,000 fine for his misuse of prescribing controlled drugs.
Trying Maybe responds, "Changing has long been controversial to has been long controversial is objectively very funny." Sleepy Steve says, "It always seems to be actual plagiarists who seem to make the most frequent, absurd, and unjustified accusations of plagiarism. Not enough that they steal ideas. They have to go out of their way to slander others' work for having the most banal similarities." Evie Lupine says, "Not gonna lie, I've noticed that several channels like Illuminaughtii and Ready to Glare have made videos with direct, extensive quotes like this, without attributing the quote. One video was so bad, it was 80% reading a Wikipedia article verbatim and calling it original content." Tom says, "Oof, I used to watch her stuff, but found it odd how she was able to churn out so many video essays at a regular pace. I had no proof that anything malicious was going on, but the vibes were just off, you know? Glad it wasn't all just in my imagination." Ant the Editor says, "I mean, I'm annoyed paranoid you're all using the same font on Twitter that I do, without asking my permission. Thomas frankly responds, excuse me, that's my font. Inky Goat says, in retrospect, this should have been obvious. No person can make completely original or well-researched YouTube documentaries multiple times a week. I'm surprised a lot of people didn't catch it earlier. I certainly didn't. Koba says, point of view, showing a picture of a man with a hatchet, who I assume is H-Bomber guy, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. Anyways, Lasagna says, Harris, how dare you say this about the sole inventor of PowerPoint slide templates and highlighting text? We would still be in the Stone Age if not for her pioneering wisdom. Taconic says, I don't know what any of this is about, but this is very exciting and I recognize a savage punch when I see one, lol. Justin says, but was she ever on MTV Cribs? How proud is her mother? Has she ever worked hand in hand with Shigeru Miyamoto? Cody Hauser says, her channel makes mistakes in their videos all the time, so sometimes it's hard to take them seriously. Matebus says, everyone hates doing motion graphics, so everyone uses the same plugin. Feels like something so obvious to me. John Lewis says, okay, so I'm not tripping? I didn't see anything wrong either. We all take inspiration from each other. Like a ton of people are using screen replace feature on TVs for a cool effect. Sarah B responds by saying, I stopped taking her seriously when I caught 3 pretty significant factual errors in the same video, including the baffling assumption that university in Canada is free. My ungodly student debt proves otherwise. Moonwalk Grab says, I almost took her seriously until I saw this, showing her example B of the plagiarism. Sabrina says, claiming ownership over highlighting article text at an off-kilter angle and a vignette/causation blur overlay sure is a hell of a choice when there's probably thousands of YouTubers and documentarians who have done it for a decade plus. Blaze says, I'm shocked she's not going after Vox or BuzzFeed, because they've also used those types of motion graphics too. Instead, she went after a literal lawyer who has the intelligence to refute her claims immediately. And speaking of that, Vivro shows LegalEagle's response to Illuminaughtii and says, personally, if I were going to accuse a lawyer's editor of stealing from me and tag the lawyer, I would maybe double check to make sure they hadn't actually been doing it for years before I started doing it. He then, of course, shows LegalEagle's response to Illuminaughtii, which reads out, hey Illuminaughtii, I think this is a big misunderstanding. Perhaps great minds think alike. No one on my team is trying to copy you. Without an exhaustive review of your channel, I believe we used these 2 styles before your channel did. We've used them for 3 to 4 years. Plus, the 2 styles, a pseudo paper rip and a highlight, are extremely common on YouTube. The editor you were talking about didn't even design either of those 2 elements. Again, we've used them for 3 to 4 years at this point. Danny is a great and thorough editor. When he reached out via email, he was hoping to find out what plugin your team used on a particular video, a very common practice among editors. He was not looking to copy anyone's style. Danny is also a freelancer who makes his own videos. In the Discord, the video he referenced was about being inspired by your subject matter, not your style. He's a fan of yours. The video was referencing a video of his own, not a LegalEagle video. Here's the end of the Discord chat that Danny provided to me. He was trying to edit a video of his own using only DaVinci Resolve. He was always just looking for some technical help, and even thanked everyone anyway. He then shows a screenshot that starts with Danny's last message from the screenshot Illuminaughtii provided, and then showing the 3 messages below that Illuminaughtii cut out, where Flo the Dragon Ghost says, at Danny, this isn't really the place for that. This is just to ask questions about the server, as the mod team really isn't involved into editing. The editing team are busy people. Calpie responds, it's true, I'm very busy. To which Danny responds, ah well, thanks for the help. LegalEagle then ends off his thread by saying, YouTube is great because it's collaborative, and the rising tide raises all ships. My team and I always try to provide original, high-quality, informative content. We try to help others when they ask for it. There aren't really any trade secrets around here. I didn't know that Danny reached out to you, but I don't fault him for doing so. If anything, I think everyone on the platform should be more open in sharing. Anyway, if you feel differently or want to hash it out, my DMs are open. Wonderstruck YT responds to LegalEagle by saying, feels like we're about to go down this rabbit hole except towards editors and effect. Imagine being so wrapped in your own echo chamber that you think you're the pioneer of your style that other channels have used for years. They then show an image referencing the Fine Bros controversy from 2016, where they tried to claim copyright over all React content. Holmes responds to LegalEagle by saying, and in today's edition of Dumb Things I See on the Internet, content creator accuses an actual lawyer of stealing commonly used things without speaking to said lawyer first. Jane Smith says, I went to go look at example B and was confused when the text was different. Then I realized it was the highlighter effect. That effect has been around since before YouTube was even a thing. That has a specific marker made for it. Are you kidding me? Dr. Bravo 2 says, can't wait for the, can you copyright a basic ubiquitous video effect? Video. Now all of these people so far have been against Illuminaughtii. So let me show a tweet from the one person who did defend her. The Surfs responded to LegalEagle by saying, dude, it's very shady behavior. At least just own up to it. I normally love your stuff, but this ain't it. I say that as a fan. Scott Kurse responds to the surfs by saying, how do you dislike a tweet? I thought this was a bait account until I clicked on your profile. And that's about it for the discussion around Illuminaughtii and her claim that LegalEagle is trying to steal her editing style. I could not find any tweet besides the surfs defending Illuminaughtii in this situation, and I feel it's pretty self-explanatory as to why. I think this call out was insane and I have no idea what she was thinking, but if you have any different opinion, I would love to hear it in the comment section below, as I'm always open to broadening the discussion on whatever topic I cover on this channel. Speaking of which, if you like this coverage and would like to see more, be sure to subscribe to this channel with notifications on, and check out my catalog of previous videos to see if there's any topics I covered that you would be interested in watching. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in another one.